Howie Roseman is building more than a roster, my friend. He is building an organization. And while everyone's eyes are on the player moves, the A.J. Brown trade, the rookies at minicamp, the free agents coming and going, a change happened behind the scenes at the Jefferson Health Training Complex that says a great deal about how the Eagles plan to stay at the top of the NFC for years to come. An executive was promoted. A new title was created. And when you find out who this man's brother is, the story takes on a dimension that goes far beyond a simple front office announcement. I am going to tell you everything about this promotion, what it means for the power structure inside the Eagles organization, and why the family connection that comes with this new role is one of the most interesting stories in professional football right now. But first, if you are a true Eagles fan, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel right now, because the news out of Philadelphia does not stay on the field, and I never let any of it slip by. Let's get into it. NFL Network insider Mike Garafolo was the one who reported the move. The Eagles have promoted Adam Berry to the position of assistant general manager. He will work directly alongside Howie Roseman in managing and developing the roster of the reigning Super Bowl champions. The promotion was confirmed this week, in the middle of an offseason that was already busy enough with the A.J. Brown situation, the rookie minicamp, and the negotiations that are still ongoing. But who is Adam Berry, and why does this promotion matter for the Eagles? Berry is not a name that shows up in the spotlight. He does not give interviews. He does not appear at press conferences. He does not have a public profile built over years of media coverage. But inside the walls of the Jefferson Health Training Complex, he has been a growing and increasingly influential presence since he joined the organization in 2023. Before arriving in professional football, Adam Berry worked at Goldman Sachs, one of the most powerful and demanding investment banks in the world. That piece of information might seem trivial at first glance, but it carries enormous weight when you understand what it means to bring that background into an NFL front office. Goldman Sachs is not a company that hires average people. It is an institution known for a brutal selection process, an extreme performance culture, and for producing executives who know how to work with complex data, high-level pressure, and high-stakes decisions within very short time windows. A former Goldman Sachs executive who walks into an NFL front office does not arrive only with financial knowledge. He arrives with an analytical mindset that can transform the way a team evaluates contracts, projects cap space, and structures long-term negotiations. And that is exactly the kind of intelligence Howie Roseman values. The Eagles' general manager is himself one of the most analytically sophisticated GMs in the league, someone who uses data, financial projections, and creative contract structures in ways that very few other NFL executives can replicate. Having alongside him an executive with Adam Berry's background is not a coincidence. It is a deliberate choice. But the story everyone is talking about today is not about Goldman Sachs. It is about the last name. Adam Berry is the brother of Andrew Berry, the general manager of the Cleveland Browns. Let that sink in for a moment. The Eagles just promoted to assistant GM an executive whose brother runs one of the rival organizations in the AFC. Two brothers, two general managers, one already established in Cleveland, the other on the rise in Philadelphia. It is the kind of story the NFL rarely produces, and when it does, it captures the attention of the entire league. Andrew Berry has an impressive resume entirely on his own. He went to Harvard, played football in the Ivy League, worked as an analyst before entering professional football, and became one of the youngest general managers in NFL history when he took over the Cleveland Browns in 2020, at just 33 years old at the time. Since then, he has guided the Browns through one of the most interesting rebuilding processes in the AFC, including the controversial and expensive acquisition of Deshaun Watson and the ongoing effort to build a competitive roster around him. The two brothers clearly grew up in an environment that valued analytical intelligence, ambition, and hard work. And now, with Adam being promoted to assistant GM of the Eagles, the two of them sit among the most important executives at their respective organizations, in different conferences, which at least eliminates the most obvious conflict of interest, but creates a family dynamic that has no clear precedent in recent NFL history. Garafolo pointed out correctly that this connection could eventually make conversations between the two organizations more fluid. There is no NFL rule preventing two GMs from different teams from negotiating with each other, even when they are brothers. And if a trade between the Eagles and the Browns makes sense at some point down the road, the personal relationship between Adam and Andrew could make those conversations flow more naturally than they otherwise would. But let's be clear, Executive promotions do not happen for family reasons. Adam Berry was promoted because Howie Roseman believes he adds real value to the organization. Because in 3 years inside the Eagles' front office, he demonstrated the analytical capability, the work ethic, and the philosophical alignment necessary to rise to the second most important position in the team's executive hierarchy. And that is the point that matters most for Eagles fans. The promotion of Adam Berry is a signal that Roseman is thinking beyond the 2026 season. He is building a front office department that can function at a high level even when circumstances change, whether due to an eventual departure of his own in the distant future or simply because of the growing volume of decisions that a championship-level roster demands. Having a trusted assistant GM with elite financial training and sophisticated analytical vision is an organizational asset that goes far beyond what any trade or free agent signing can offer. Now, with all of this front office movement in the background, what are the expectations for the Eagles in 2026? The answer depends on who you ask. And the projections circulating in the specialized media show an interesting split of opinions. NFL Spin Zone published a prediction that places the Eagles as the 5th seed in the NFC playoff picture in 2026. 5th seed. That would mean Philadelphia does not win the NFC East. And the prediction goes further. It projects the Dallas Cowboys as the division champions. For any Eagles fan, that is exactly the kind of statement that irritates. But it is a projection that exists, and it is made by analysts who consider the uncertainty around A.J. Brown, the change at offensive coordinator, and the wild card round loss as real risk factors heading into 2026. On the other hand, BetMGM, one of the most respected sportsbooks in the American market, is projecting the Eagles as NFC East champions in 2026. That projection takes into account the roster as a whole, the quality of the defensive line, the depth in the backfield with Saquon Barkley, and the fact that Philadelphia remains the most complete team in the division on paper, regardless of what happens with A.J. Brown. The truth, as almost always in the NFL, sits somewhere between those two visions. The Eagles have the ingredients to be the best team in the NFC East, but they also have more open questions than they would like at this point in the offseason. The Brown trade has not been finalized. New offensive coordinator Sean Mannion has not yet proven himself at the professional level, and Jalen Hurts needs to respond to the criticism he received after a 2025 season that fell below expectations. What is undeniable is that Howie Roseman is answering each of those questions with concrete actions. He drafted Mekhi Lemon to replace Brown. He hired Sean Mannion to redesign the offense. He extended Big Dom DeSandro's contract to maintain the cultural stability of the locker room. He brought veterans to the rookie minicamp to deepen the roster. And now he has promoted Adam Berry to strengthen the intelligence of the front office. Every move has a logic. Every decision fits into a larger strategy. And that is why, while other NFL organizations are still trying to understand what went wrong last season, the Eagles are already 3 steps ahead building the next one. The promotion of Adam Berry may not be the most eye-catching headline of the Eagles' 2026 offseason, but it is one of those moves that, when you look back 5 years from now, you will understand exactly what it meant. Do you think having an executive with a Goldman Sachs background and a direct connection to a rival GM is a real asset for the Eagles? And does Berry's promotion change your view of the depth of Howie Roseman's front office? Leave your take in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later with the latest Eagles news. Fly, Eagles, fly.